How's your production on pasture? Are profits down? Are weight gains down? What are you going to do about it? Do something cost-effective. Do something that will make a difference. To add the first and proven leader in feed-through hornfly control to your cattle rations, ask for it by name, Alticid IGR.
Your land is more than a business. It's a heritage that has been passed down from those who tended it before you, by those who shaped it, changed it, and cared for it. Your land has a legacy, one that you carry on, but also one you build on. At Corteva Agriscience, we are the stewards of a lasting legacy. We have a responsibility to Dow AgroSciences, to maintain the relationships and trust they built, and to build upon those foundations, to help you care for your land, to provide innovations that help you protect the hard work and investment you've poured into it, to help you build a legacy that can be passed on for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience.
Ranching is passed down from generation to generation. Know what else gets passed down? The world's finest ranch and rodeo equipment, manufactured by WW Livestock Systems. Ranchers demand quality, and they have come to depend on WW equipment to fulfill their needs, large or small. We invite you to consider WW, made in America, available coast to coast. WW Livestock Systems, the world's finest since 1945.
live webinar sessions here at Expo this week. A lot of good talks going on all week. And we've got another great talk here with Scott Campbell with Purina. They're industry leaders in a lot of research and development within the animal health, animal feed world. And so he's going to be talking to us about the important considerations when you're choosing a horse tub. A lot of different types of horses out there. So he's going to kind of hit some of those different aspects. He's been with Purina for 20 years. He's an equine specialist, and he's got a lot of information to share. So here he is. I'll turn it over to him now.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Love working with these folks here at Producers, and they always do a wonderful job with us supporting our products. And we appreciate the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about what we have coming here really, really soon. So, is that thing going to pull up there? Little new stuff here, trying to get the stuff up. Very perfect. So what I thought I would talk to everyone today about when it comes to the horse stuff, we have a lot of ways we could go, but we're pretty excited at Purina. We've got a new horse product coming out that we wanted to kind of bring to people's attention. So we just were going to kind of talk a little bit about what horse tubs are, how do they make them, when do you use them, and why would you use a self-fed tub, which is very, there's hardly any self-fed products, very, very few for horses out there. So these are not something I think everybody thinks about when they're thinking about supplementing nutrition to their horses. So, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about what Purina has coming down the road here real soon for their horse tubs. So just to kind of get into what are horse tubs and what are they made of and all this and that, there's a lot of common ingredients in these tubs, or a lot of the normal ingredients you see in your everyday bag of horse feed are in these horse tubs today. There's also, they're going to have your basic protein, fat, fiber type products in them. They're going to have some grain potentially in them. They're going to have this in them. A lot of them have, there's been numerous tubs on the market with fly control or gastric support or those types of things. And that's what, those are some added benefits you can utilize when you're using a tub. Most all of them are molasses based. So they kind of start there. And then we work to add different ingredients. And that's how you make, excuse me, one tub different than another. So we'll kind of get into a little more of that. There's two basic ways you make a tub. This is cattle tub, horse tub, doesn't matter. There's a poured tub, which is basically a chemical reaction when you're put magnesium oxide, things like that in to firm up all the ingredients to go in as somewhat of a pudding, and then they firm up over a period of time and set up, and then they're solid from that point forward. The other option or other method of making the tub is a cooked or a baked tub. And basically you put your ingredients in a mixture, and then you cook or bake those tubs so that basically you're cooking out the moisture out of the molasses and different ingredients, and you get a tub that way. A lot of the cattle tubs that we make, Purina makes, are made through that cook process as well. We also do both for make a poured tub for cattle too. On our horse tub, it's going to be a poured method. So that's just something that, if you've never been around a tub, it's just two common ways that they're made. Another thing is, how big are they, and how do I want to wrestle them around? And that may or may not want to, but the tubs will come in from a 30-pound pail or a bucket. Basically looks like a 5-gallon flat back bucket. You see a lot of those in the marketplace, up to about 125-pound big tub that you would put in a pasture situation for horses. The kind of the cool thing about them is, they can be available to your animals 24/7. And a lot of times, keeping some type of consistent nutrition out for that period of time, over time, they consume them and they do very well on them. So it's a matter of, a lot of times, is it just convenient for you. You know, a lot of people go out of town, say, or for a weekend or something, and they've got good pasture, good grass. They may just want to put a tub out for just a little extra supplementation. So kind of your choice. They can also be fed with fed for just additional supplementation. So say you have your horse in a stall, and then you want to, you know, you're feeding them morning and evening. You can still have these tubs out and available to them when they are turned out, and they may consume some if they needed to consume a few more calories in their daily intake, or more vitamin or mineral, whatever that may look like. Again, why would you want a feed tub? I think there's a lot of reasons why people utilize them. Convenience is a big one. I mean, you know, I'm pretty much a stickler on my own to feed twice a day. You know, try to be very, very clockwork. You know, horses thrive off of the same thing at the same time every day. So convenience is one way to do it. It's better than nothing in a lot of cases from a nutritional standpoint. So having that available for them 24/7 sometimes is really good. They do deliver balanced nutrition. They do deliver good quality protein sources, vitamin, mineral, and you know, if you want to add other types of supplements in there, they could be from a gastric buffer to fly control, you know, that type of thing. So a lot of ways, a lot of reasons why you would do that. And another one would be economics. You know, sometimes they're just more economical if you can consider, if you know, travel time and gasoline, all these different things. They may keep you from having to go every day to maybe every other day to monitor the animals, which that's a personal decision. So those are some reasons why you would you know, think about using a tub. And so we'll get into a little bit about our Purina tub. We haven't had a horse tub on the market in probably 20 years. And part of it was we just, I think it was just the manufacturing facilities and things like that. We just didn't have the ability to do that. We, you know, just to kind of bring people up to speed, we purchased a liquid or a block plant in Central Texas, and over the last couple of years. So we've got an ability to make a horse product in an ionophore-free facility, which is very, very critical for Purina. We do not make any of our horse feeds in a plant where there are ionophores like Bovatec or Rumensin available or in the plant. So we're totally ionophore-free, which is it's a big deal. That's one thing that I think, as far as Purina tubs would go, I would say is an advantage that we can tell you that. I mean, if I'm feeding a tub today, I'm going to probably ask where they're made and what else is made there. That would make me feel better. The Purina tub is also going to have 3 unique technologies in it. We'll have our gastric buffer Outlast, which has been a phenomenal product in itself from all the different ones on the market. This one has just been a standout from how well it works and how people are doing with it. It's super, super good product. So it's included into this tub that we have. The other unique ingredient would be Amplify, which we use Amplify in a lot of our horse feeds like Omeline, Ultium, Strategy, Healthy Edge. A lot of those have the extruded fat nugget in there, Amplify in it, which is a 30% fat nugget. And also that's going to be the basis of, you know, where the fat's coming from. It is the tub, our Purina tub in itself is a 14 protein, 8 fat, 5 fiber based tub so it has the protein, vitamin, mineral, plus the Outlast gastric buffer, the Amplify fat nugget, and also it has Clarifly in it that is a feed through IGR fly control that is going to be a huge addition to some of our products. The other thing I would tell you, it's a equine PhD formulated this thing. It's not done by just anybody. We try to make sure that our work when we're developing these products, there's really no shortcuts in them. And we'll get into a little bit more about that. But I can assure you we have very good people behind all these products that we have, and especially the tubs. Just a little science behind, behind the tubs. I can tell you we did an extensive amount of research on these over the last couple of years, actually, at our farm in Gray Summit, Missouri. That's where everything typically starts. We have a herd of horses, various ages, things going on that we utilize those horses for feeding trials and such. So what's really important is, making sure our consumption rates, making sure palatability is there. There's really nothing very effective if they don't eat it. So the big thing is, how did they consume it, and how well do they eat it, and how much do they eat of it? Because you don't want them to eat too much, you don't want them to eat not enough to get the benefits of all the things you may put in that tub. So as you can see here on this slide, we had an average of 2.1 pounds per day on our intake, which is right about where we wanted it to be, very close. So it's always a little bit funny how this works. You're going to have some horses that may eat them more, some that may not, may eat on them less. But we had very good response from all the horses that we had on our trials. We actually did, after we worked through a product, process of bringing a product to market like this tub, of course, Gray Summit, where our research facility is the first place it starts. Then once we feel good about everything we have there, everything seems to be lining up, horses doing well, consumptions are right, they're eating them right, everything is going well. Then we take it to different areas in the United States to see how they do, because different forages, different climates, a lot of different things, to take into consideration, because this is going to be a product that's going to be sold all over the United States of America. So we needed something that was going to be, good everywhere. So I personally was involved in doing a number of trials, field trials with the tub here in Texas. We had it on different variety of horses. We had horses that were on pasture with no supplementation at all, just good quality Bermuda grass pastures. We had them on horses that were, in a stall. I would say probably, 8 hours a day. They were in a stall overnight, had access to it. We had different scenarios. We had horses in dry lot. So there's a lot of ways that these horses, and types of horses, any of them can utilize them. But we had really good intake and good reception from the horses whenever we did do that. That's the number one thing. They have to be palatable, and then they have to consume them, or else you're just wasting your money. So when you get into more of the guts of how they get these things to market and how they work, what we were looking for is, in our field trials, was, do they consume them? Would they eat a little bit and walk away, or would they just stand there all day and eat on them? And that was, you don't want them just to stay there and continually eat on them. They do move off. So what we saw was they would come in, and again, these were kind of new to them in most cases. The horses that I worked with, they were not on a tub product, so it was really interesting that they went to them as quickly as they did. But then they also went back out and grazed and did normal daily activities. We kind of also looked at, where different places and placement of these tubs, just kind of like you do in your cattle pastures with tubs, can have an effect on how well they're consumed too. So we were playing with that. We may talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. The horses did really well, maintain body condition. I know some horses in Florida that were on some trials they were actually rescue horses that did, of course, increase body condition. And the funny thing was, once we had finished the trial there at that particular facility, those horses went backwards on the body condition, because they weren't supplementing them beyond what they were getting in their fiber. So what they did, they started supplementing them afterwards, but they did see that these horses did gain and maintain body condition, which is always good. If you want to try to put more body weight on, or sometimes if they put body condition on when you're feeding them. Maybe you can back off your concentrate a little bit, and you don't have to work through all that. So horse owners, the folks that we did work with, they liked the way they looked. This 55, we have a 55 pounder and a 125 pounder. They both sit on the ground. They both have lids, and they both work pretty well. So a lot of people get a little bit not really sure about what is Clarifly and how does this work. You know, what do I want my horse eating a chemical? And that's certainly understandable. But the thing about the Clarifly is, it's like I said earlier, it's an insect growth regulator. And basically what we're trying to do is disrupt that life cycle of the fly. So this product, actually the horse eats it, consumes it, goes through them, nothing stays in the horse, and it goes right into the feces. That's where the flies lay their eggs. That's where the whole process starts of disrupting the fly's life cycle. So I can tell you that there's no danger of getting any bad tests or anything like that. There's a number of different products out there today with Clarifly or other fly control products in them that are basically the same ingredient, and they all work extremely well when you're utilizing them correctly. So I've seen some really impressive changes in facilities once they did go to some type of fly control like an IGR. It made a huge difference. So just be I guess rest assured that this is not a chemical in your horse that's going to stay there. When you look at, everybody wants to know what they cost, and these prices that I have on here are strictly estimates. There's varies from one area to another. There's freights, there's all kinds of things, but these are roughly what they would cost on a tub basis. And if you look at them, and if you were to just look at cost adding of all the different supplements that we're going to have in there with the Outlast, the Amplify, and the Clarifly, if you add those into some other type of product like Enrich Plus, which is a super concentrated protein, vitamin, and mineral, if you did that, you're going to spend more money than if you just did the tub in itself. So it can be an added piece, or it can be the entire piece of your nutrition program. Kind of depends on your horses and how good is your fiber, how much fiber you have, things like that. We have to think about that and how can we best get them to where we need to go. So again, you can use these to replace some of your normal concentrate, or however make you kind of feel better about getting, say, a fly control into your horse. It just makes it a little bit simpler for you. That kind of runs through the whole gambit on the product. Like I said earlier, it's a 14 protein, 8 fat. It's got 1,500 calories in it. If you think about that, that's a relatively high calorie level. That's the same calorie delivery on a per pound basis that Strategy GX has, which is a feed we've had out there for a number of years. We're excited about it coming. We haven't had a product like this in our arsenal in a long time, and we're looking forward to this. We may even build off of it onto some other horse targeted tubs, that we can utilize. But I kind of wanted to have these products up here with me. These are stuff that I'm sure many of you know that we make and maybe utilize. They work really well with all kinds of different feeding programs, different brands of feed, anything else you could use there. But we're always looking for innovative ways to get and deliver nutrition to these horses. And if this is a way that works for you, this is what our dreams are made of. If it helps you, it helps us. It's a great thing and good for the horse. So if you have any questions, I'm sure we could answer them. Or if you have any down the road, I'm sure the folks here at Producers will be glad to get with us, and we can get your answer. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Just want to thank Mr. Campbell again. That was just a great talk on equine tubs. Like I said when we started, I mean, there's a lot of horses out there, and to find a product that'll to help the horse do its job better is always a welcome thing. The research again behind Purina and all their products is just it's really amazing. I've been up to the facility, and just the amount of time and research that they put in behind their products is awesome. We can get a hold of Scott Campbell and any of the Purina folks if there's any questions that we'd be happy to help, and we can answer them here as well here at Producers. Just thank you all for tuning in. We've got another one coming up this afternoon on wild bird feeding, so please tune into that. And again, Expo's going on until Saturday. We'll be open late tonight until 7:30. There'll be a $1 off every producer's feed bag or feed that we produce here from 5:30 to 7:30. So come take advantage of that, and I hope to see y'all